to Stitches and Sundries. This is a Flosstube. It's a podcast about cross-stitch and stitchy goodness. My name is Lauren. You can find me on Instagram at LaurenUpStitching. And I'm a little behind in my recording, so it is the 5th of October. And it should go right out. I think I can edit it today. And I'm talking about getting ready for spooky season. That's so exciting. Getting ready for spooky season. We are hardcore into spooky season. So, like I said, this is a channel about cross stitch. I have some whips, some finishes, a new start, another cross stitch box arrived, which I feel like I'm doing an unboxing every episode now, but I ordered all of them. And yeah, it's gonna be super fun. I can't remember. This is either episode 48 or 49. I'm getting close to episode 50, and I'm thinking of doing something special for episode 50, but I haven't like decided what or like confirmed that yet, so we'll see. Crazy life stuff. I don't have as much stitching as I wanted. Like, I thought I was like keeping up with it really well, despite how hectic the last 2 weeks have been. I was not at all. When I actually sat down and looked, I was like, ooh. So this might be a short episode, short, quick, little thing, but I have some stuff. That's life. You do stuff, especially this time of year. I'm getting together with friends way more. We went to the Renaissance Festival, and I spent a couple days beforehand. Like, I had ordered a costume. Like, let me rephrase that. I had ordered an outfit that I thought I could turn into a costume. It was a green dress that I thought, oh, I'll wear it to Ren Fair, but then it's a nice green dress. I'll wear it more. I don't wear dresses that often, but I could wear it. It came here. It was the most, it was sized for somebody about 4'10", I think. Like, all the proportions were completely wrong. So I'm like, I called up a friend of mine who's like an awesome thrifter, and I was like, we got to go hit Goodwill. I got to find something quick. We put together a pretty awesome outfit, and then I left more than half of it at home. Like, I forgot it completely. Walking out the door when you're like, you know, the people that are like, phone, wallet, keys, okay, I'm good. Like, that's as far as my brain can go. Do you have your phone? Can you start your car? Let us leave. Like, if you tell me, oh, we have this item to return, don't forget to take it with you, I'll always forget it. Oh, you need this extra bag that's full of half your costume. It's not coming. Like, my brain just doesn't, like, walking out the door, my brain turns off. I don't know why. So, of course, it was, like, fine. Like, who cares? That was, like, it was supposed to be this little extra fun, but it didn't happen. Like, that's fine. So that was fun and interesting. But Ren Fair was awesome. We got to hang out with friends that I'm so lucky to have the friends that I have. Like, I'm a person that thrives on socialness, and so I'm very lucky to say that I have an awesome friend group that is usually down for anything, that are positive and wonderful, and like, it was just a great time. So we hung out. We went down to the Renaissance Festival. We always have to stop at Waffle House on the way, so we stopped at Waffle House. I'm half in costume. There's several people of us that are half in costume. It's just so fun. And then we went down there. We saw a couple of good shows, but like, the things that we wanted to hit were like completely across the fair from each other every time. So we were constantly rushing to the next thing. And several times we didn't make it because it was so crowded that day. And we just couldn't get anywhere close to see anything. So that was a little bit of a bummer, but like, that happens. It was like a really nice day. And so I think people were they were like, this is the last nice day, so we got to get out. Excuse me. And, but it was a lot of fun. And the weather was perfect. And I got a bunch of tea from the Baltimore Tea Company, which has so the Maryland Ren Fair, you guys will have to tell me if you're from another area and you've gone to their Renaissance festivals. So my understanding is that the Maryland one is a pretty, like it's a pretty nice one. because it is a permanent structure place. So a lot of Ren fairs come in, they put up tents, they rent out a festival grounds or a fairgrounds or something, they put up tents, and there's your Ren fair. Maryland has a dedicated space that is the Ren fair. So all these companies have buildings that it's their stall and it's theirs, and they've customized it, and it's, they're there every year. And so it's like a little, I don't want to say nicer, but just like it's a slightly better experience because you feel like you're in a thing. And so the Baltimore Tea Company has a shop called Sugar and Spice, and you can go in and they have all these spices and herbs and mixes and the sage bundles and like everything you could want, and their tea as well. And I always buy up a ton of tea because it's really good. So I was really happy with that. We just had a great time. And now I have a costume that I'm going to wear for Halloween as well because I haven't gotten to wear it. Then we had friends up. I know this is like really long. Sorry. I don't even know how to put in the like skip to. I don't even know where it's going to be. So sorry. Then we had friends in the very next weekend. Our friends that we have not seen in over a year. They were in to play board games and just hang out as a like mini summer vacation for them. They're from Delaware, so they came up to the mountains. It was so beautiful. It rained for a chunk of it, but like when we could get out and see it, we were mostly in the basement playing board games. But when we did go out and see it, it was beautiful. So I felt like they got a good experience around here. And that was a blast. I'm now super exhausted. I thought I would be able to stitch a little bit while they were here. Like we'd have downtime where we watched a movie or something. We did not stop the whole weekend. So for like 5 days, no stitching at all. So that blew some of my progress, but it was great. It was absolutely fantastic. So I'm very lucky to have such awesome friend groups. So, all right. So that was a little long because I had to gush about Ren Fair because it's so much fun. I got a crab pretzel. Life was great. Like everybody else, there are turkey legs at the Maryland Ren Fair, but who the fuck cares when there's a crab pretzel? That's way more important. So, anyway. I also have a like gravelly voice. If you are like the type of person that can notice, I don't always notice when people say that. I have a gravelly voice because at work they are nonstop using. We're in a building. I think I've mentioned that we're in like a temporary office building that is very slightly like mildew and moldy. And so everybody has brought in their own like Bath and Body Works plug-in smell thing. It's killing me. It is absolutely killing me. Every day I sound like this. Every day I cough because it is just so strong. Like I'd rather smell the mildew. And they're all like conflicting scents. Like someone has florals, someone has pumpkin spice, someone has beach. It's like, ugh. I'd rather just, we don't have any smells in our house. Every once in a while Sarah burns incense and we have like a wax warmer every once in a while, but mostly it just smells clean. Like Sarah cleans a lot. It smells like, a freshly Swiffered floor. Like that's what our house smells like. And so this is just like overwhelming. Anyway, so I'm gravelly voice. I'm going to be gravelly voice forever. Especially now that it's getting cooler and you can't like open a window. Like it was before we were just kind of like keeping it open and that was airing out the mold smell. No, in the wintertime it's just going to be killing Lauren with smells. All right, so I have one fully finished object. We're getting into cross stitch. We're doing it. I'm a crazy person. Anyway, I have one fully finished object. I have two fully finished objects. One you've seen before, but now it's fully finished. So, let's do it. Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to try and get this so it doesn't. Oh, Candyman. Trying to get it so it doesn't, it's reflecting my whole freaking room. There we go. Reflect the camera and it's set up. There you go. You can see me recording itself. So this is Candyman by the Witchy Stitcher. I absolutely love it. It's stop reflecting. I absolutely love it. I was originally going to go for a much bolder frame, but the reality is this is kind of a small piece, and I was putting the bigger frame on it, and it was completely getting lost. So I had this smaller frame. It was pink, like a rosy pink, and so my sister painted it up for me, got it to be this like lustrous gold color, which she's very talented. So I think that is perfect. It is going in our movie room. Sarah keeps trying to steal it, but I know exactly it's going right out there. I know exactly where it's going, so I love it. I loved it to death. And actually, this one, what it was while it was waiting for frames to be painted, was like setting up on my like craft space in the living room. And a friend of ours who's a giant horror buff came by and was like, "That is awesome. That is one of the cooler things you've stitched." And it's like, you need to do a pinhead one. And I was like, "Oh, really?" And he was like, "Yeah, you need to say, 'Don't cry. It's a waste of good suffering.'" And I was like, "Oh, that would be a good one." That would be, Pinhead's not one of my favorites, but I could see it going with this like anthology. And we have a Camp Crystal Lake, and we have some Nightmare on Elm Street stuff. So I feel like that genre, that time of horror is very well represented in all our stuff. So I feel like a Pinhead one would totally fit. So that's that. And then the other finish I have is I finished and fully finished this little guy. This is Cauldron Flowers by V Stitchcraft. It's free on her website. And it is so cute. And it is all done. Those French knots murdered me. I do not like them. I do not like them. But it looks great. And I finished it in this little decorative frame I got from Amazon. It's the perfect size for it. And when I finished it, because this gray fabric was kind of see-through, I put a piece of white paper behind it to just like hide the really, like you could see the edge of the frame that's in there and the bunched material behind it. And so I put a piece of white paper in there, and now it's not picking up as well. Let's see if I can get it to do it. Can you see how glittery and metallic that silver became? Like, that is so cool. It looks like a tintype almost. Like, it just, for some reason, putting the white behind it made the threads really reflective and like metallic looking. So that's a cool thing. I finished it on the back with just a piece of kind of I felt like it was in the same vein, the purples and I felt like it matched. And just a quick, like it's not anything amazing, but it's on there and it looks good. I'm thinking about finishing things now since I entered stuff in the like this I normally wouldn't have, but I actually put the like backing on the frame back on, because when I submitted stuff to the fair, they were like, it's not finished, it's not done. So I'm thinking about how to finish things fully instead of just leaving it. Like, I would have just left that bunched. Who cares? It's going against the wall. Not good enough. So yeah, so that one's done as well. So those are two little, I'm really pleased with Candyman, but this little thing was like so pleasant to work on until I got to the French knots, because screw that, I don't like it. Oh, actually I have a third. Third finish. It's complete. It's done. It looks so good. This is October by Maurer-Stroh in her Flowers of the Month series. I stitched this on 28 count black jobelan, and it looks fantastic. The back is a nightmare. Do not look at it. The hot glue got out of control on the back. I'm not even gonna show it. And there's cat hair in the hot glue. Yeah, but it's so cute. It's so pretty. I'll be starting November. Actually, here any day now. I'll get the supplies out and start on November. Yeah. So this has already been in my office. I actually had to run in today and get it because I forgot I was recording. So I had to run in and take it back out of my office. And I'm like, no, I'm here for paperwork. Yeah, super happy with that. It looks great. It is also like a nice, It's nice and bright against the black, so it kind of like shines out in my little weird cream room. It's not even cream, it's gross. I'm doing November on this same gray fabric, so I might try and get that metallic look again. That might be cool. Okay. So those are my 3 finishes. I'm pleased with that. Like it feels like not a lot of progress, but I mean 3 finishes, that's a lot. So go me. All right, I have 2 whip updates. 2 whip updates. Reaching. I also cleaned out some of my craft stuff, and I got a project bag back, which I'm really pleased with. So my first whip update is, this is Tea Time. It is a Riolis kit. I'm trying to get that, sorry, I'm trying to get that fold to not be quite so folded. There we go, a little bit better. This is a Riolis kit. It is a lot of fun to stitch on, and the more I stitch on it, the more I like it. That wall is going to kill me, though. I really got to focus in on that wall so that I can then focus in on other things. So I finished the face of the clock entirely. I worked on the wall, and I've almost got this teacup done. And I started on the lemon wedge that's sticking out of the teacup there. You see the little bright lime green edge. Yeah. So this is coming along. It's coming along quicker than I expected. Because it was moving at a snail's pace. But 1, I got it in Pattern Keeper. That was a huge boost. This is a huge boost. And 2, I've got all my colors pretty much. I'm not having to stop and kit up colors anymore, really. I've got most of these colors done. So I'm just like really moving and grooving. I really like this piece. It is so cute. And hang on. We organized all my frames. Let me go get a frame. Hello again. When we were looking at frames to put Candyman in, I grabbed this one because it was the right size. But you can't tell me that that's not perfect. Perfect. So I have it all ready to go. I know where it's going to go. It's going to go in my kitchen. It's going to be lovely in summertime. So that makes me really happy. Yeah, so this is really coming along. However, there's a whole thing over here. Like, it looks like, oh, look at all this. There's a whole thing. There's a giant teapot and flower bouquet that I have not touched. So, yeah. Not as much progress as that. I'll get there. It's fine. It's fine. All right, so that's coming along. Second one is, now that it is October, this is back in my rotation. So the second one is, without some creases. This is Giant Silk Moth by Night Spirit Studio. Forgot to do that for the other ones. This is Giant Silk Moth from Night Spirit Studio. Here's my progress. Looking so good. So last time I didn't have this wing at all. I just had like the bottom part and the middle. So I stitched on that wing because I was starting to freak out that I wasn't gonna have enough width. Like, I knew it was taller than it was wide, but not by that much. But I was like getting concerned, but that's plenty to put it in a frame. So yeah, so I got that whole wing kind of on and started. Got some of the gold in. I'm really enjoying this. I'm stitching this on 36 count, which is smaller than I usually work. So it takes a little bit of work to kind of like get my threads to line up, to lay neatly, but it's looking really, really good. My hair's getting too long to like have in the front anymore. But it's too short to like push back either. So we're in the awkward stages. Yeah. So that is really coming along. I really like that. Oh, I'll show you my saving grace with this thing is my sister. It was recently my birthday, but we haven't celebrated it yet because we've been too busy. But she did give me one little present. And this is it. So if you haven't seen this, this is the most awesome tool pretty much ever. So this is a Victorian thread layer, is what I think it's called. So it has two purposes. One, there's a needle threader, just a plain old needle threader. However, it is also a thread grabber, where if you leave your end just a little too short, which I do all the time, or you're a little too close to the edge of your frame and you can't quite get your needle to go back under a few threads. You know, that's how I always end my thread, is I go back under, on the back side under a few threads. Sometimes if you're too close to the edge of the frame, you can't really get your needle to do that. Or if you're like, oh, I've only got 3 more stitches, I'm just gonna keep going, and then your thread is really too short to get a good, you run this sucker under a couple threads, and then either with your needle pull it through, or with this handy dandy little hook, hook in there and pull it through, and then pull it back out. It is the best. I've used it multiple times now on this because the stitches are smaller. It is easy to use. I was a little worried about this join here with the threader. It's very sturdy. I love this thing. It also, it's like chain so you don't lose it, but this detaches, so you can have this separate and it's not like in the way. This is also great for fixing the lay of your threads. So when your X's and you get one that's like kind of like got a kink in it or a turn, you can kind of like get that underneath and lay your thread to be nice and flat. I'm not that particular about things yet, but someday I might be, and there I have this. But right now it's my little grabber. It grabinates all the threads. Yeah, and it's sharp too. So if you're like, I need to grab through something, I don't know why it would need to be sharp, but I'm sure the more I use it, the more I'll find out. I saw this on TikTok one day and just offhandedly mentioned, that is a cool tool. I would find that really useful. And she bought it immediately and had it for my birthday. So it's great. I love it. It's also like really pretty and like, it looks like I have tools of the trade, you know, like I'm an expert. I have these really specialized tools. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, if you're like me and you constantly leave your thread end too short, and you're like messing with it, that's a great tool. Anyway, coming along. Put this sucker back in here. So those are my 2 whips, and I showed you my finishes. So I have one new start. It's very small though. I was talking about doing like a micro level, and this is one of those. This is Tombstone Mill Hill Kit. Oh, don't be too shiny. Look how cute. There's a little ghosty goo. There's ravens. Actually, that's not a ghosty goo. I think that's the moon rising and the mists behind there with the ravens. So this is my little start. Just a little start on the headstone. This is one I started while people were here and then realized I could not, I couldn't count, I couldn't keep up with it. So I just have this little start, but it's just a little micro, so it'll go pretty quickly. There's some beading on here I don't want to learn how to do, but I will. Yeah, so that is this one, it comes with a magnet and it's like ready to magnetize. So it's going to be a magnet for me. And I really like it. I love Mill Hill kits. They're so fun and easy. And like, the one thing I hate is like I had to figure out, there is a very light blue, a light gray, and there's a very light blue, a light gray, and a very light gray. That's mean. That's just mean. And it's just all bundled up and you got to separate it. That's just mean. but I figured it out. So yeah. So that is all my cross stitch updates. Gonna do a unboxing of this is the Autumn Lane Stitchery Halloween box. So if you're interested in seeing that, stick around and we're gonna open it together. So one thing about this box is it's custom. Look at that. That is so cool. It is a custom box, and it came with all kinds of cool goodies and a riddle with an extra bonus goodie. How, that is such a fun thing to do. It took me forever to figure out. So just gonna kind of go down through here and show you some of the fun stuff. So all right, we're gonna go to, all right, we're gonna do some of the littler things as well first, because all the patterns are at the bottom of the box and I'm not digging them out. So some cute little ghosty goo earrings. How cute are those? They're die cut and then resin like hardened, so they're like glossy and very beautiful. And this is, oh shoot, I think it's Cassandra of Autumn Lane Stitchery. This is like her side business, this blue spruce and maple, and she made these, and that is so cool. So love those. They're super cute. I love earrings. These are a little small for me, but my sister loves studs, so ha ha ha, perfect, perfect. Got some maple walnut fudge, which I gotta eat soon, because it doesn't last forever. But maple walnut fudge from Z Chocolato in San Francisco. That is a cool thing to include in a box. I guess a little label. Very cool. It is tasty. I have already tried it. As a person who loves a floss drop, these are very cool. I love these. These are, my sister has a 3D printer. Guess what's on my list now? So these are custom 3D printed floss drops, and they're all different. Every single one of them is different. So like the cracks and everything are different on every one. And I love those. This crazy awesome needle minder. A lot of this stuff was custom ordered. They like had them custom made for the box. I love that it's nice and big. I like a big needle minder. Maybe, you know, maybe not for this project, like that seems a little oversized, but for other projects it's perfect. I do like that. And it's so pretty. Like it's a little piece of artwork. You get a little print that the main pattern is based off of this original artwork by, I think, Erin from Autumn Lane. So very cool. You get a 3D printed, or no, I'm sorry, not 3D printed. This is also die cut. This is also by spruce, blue spruce and maple. And it'll slot together and then be a little standing Halloween decoration. I think that's so cool, like to include something that is decorative and a little bigger. Like that was really neat. All right, cross stitch fun and goodness. All right, the box included 3 patterns? Yeah, 3 patterns. So, a spooky stroll. I love him so much. I love him so much. So he is directly on my list. I love him so much. He's just so cute. And they put the artwork that it's based on the back. Like that's the original artwork that inspired it, and there it is turned into a thing. He's so cute. So I love him. Another one is, this is Good Witch, Bad Witch. I'm not taking these out of plastic. We can work with the glare. Look at that. We're so good. Good Witch, Bad Witch. I love the witchy silhouettes. I love that this one has the thorns and this one has the growing plants. Like, that is so fun. I love that they both do, like, they have the dichotomy of a beautiful witch, too. I like that they kind of lean that direction. And lastly, this is the big one for the box. This is Tonight We Ride. The whole box is kind of themed around this one. It is so cool. This is just awesome. So I'm in love with that. That is definitely on my list. They also provide you with all the DMC thread for Tonight We Ride. So that is like ready to go. And custom dyed pumpkin patch by Bestitch Me. Look at that. Like, I'm not gonna open it, but it is so nicely modeled with such good deep orange. Like, at first I was like, oh, I could put this on some other cool fabric. No, it's got to go on this. Like, the Tonight We Ride has got to go on this. Like, how cool is that? So everything for that, as well as specialty threads by Hand Dyed by Rolanda. And these are just really beautiful. Told you I got cough now. These are just really beautiful Halloween colors. Like, I love that green and gray variegated. Like, that looks so good. There's a really deep purple and a bright orange. Like, just beautiful colors. And they're all like Halloween themed names, like Midnight, Witch's Brew. It's just a really great little extra of customs. So all this wonderful stuff. And I mean, this was an excellent box. I will definitely be watching for them. I think this was their first, like, I think they've done boxes before, but this was their first, like, big, you can pre-order, and it's like a limited edition box. And I will definitely be watching for theirs in the future. One, I think their designs are really great. Their patterns are always beautiful. They're just like my style, where they meet that, like, the spooky zone. We've not gone full horror, but we've gone into the spooky realm. I really like that. That is, like, really beautiful to me. And two, obviously the boxes are really well curated. I mean, all these little extras. I mean, things like earrings and fudge. That's really cool. Those are little fun things. But custom floss drops, a custom really quality needle minder. This is the stuff I look for in a box. And now that I've done a couple, I'm like, I generally know what I find value in the box. This stuff is really, like, over the top extra, you know, very nice. So I was really pleased with this box. So I will definitely be watching for that again. So then, and 3 patterns. Like, this box was, you know, I think this box was on par price-wise with the Starlight Stitchery boxes. And those come with a little pattern book, and not nearly as, but they are, this is the designer. You know, you get 3 from this designer that you've obviously chosen. Like, that's pretty quality. Like, I've seen ones where you get, like, 1 or 2. To get 3, and actually, in reality, you get 4, because I'll talk about that in a second. And all these extras for the similar price from a single designer, not from a curating house like Starlight Stitchery, that's really cool. That is a really, like, quality box to be putting together. Like, it's very nice. So you get the little thing, and it's got your little menu with all your stuff that you got, and you can go through and make sure you got everything, and little descriptions about where everything comes from, blah, blah, blah. And then there's this little extra paper that says, how about a little trick with all your treats? And there's a QR code, which you can't scan. And there's a QR code, and if you have the password, you can go in and get a bonus item. And the riddle, they have a riddle of like in the box, there is hidden the password. You just have to figure it out. Oh my gosh, this nearly broke me. They've asked not to have you share it. One, it is a paid for pattern, so like it's part of the box, so you know it's not a freebie available somewhere. But two, they've asked like let everybody have a chance to do the riddle. Christ, my hair. Give everybody a chance to do the riddle so that everybody can have fun and enjoy it. It's hard. It's freaking hard. I had to ask. They do say like if you're absolutely stuck, like you can email this certain email and get a hint. And but luckily somebody in the Halloween cross-stitched group had figured it out, and so I messaged her. I'm like, girl, help me out, I cannot get this. And she's like, oh, I don't want to just tell you, so here's like some hints. And I finally got it. But you get an awesome extra bonus pattern that when I'm editing this, I will check to see if they have released, here's what the bonus pattern was. If they have, I'll put a picture of it here. It's super cute. It is my favorite of the patterns. I don't know, that little spooky walk guy is pretty high up, but it is adorable. It is great. So there's a fourth pattern. If they haven't released it, this will be blank. And you can see it on Instagram. But it was a super great box. So yeah, so that is, I showed you my awesome little tool. That is all I have for you today. Like I said, it's a pretty short, actually, what's the little recorder say? It went average amount of time. But it's been a super fun 2 weeks. I'm now tired. It's getting colder. It's time to sit in the dark and stitch. That's what I'm looking forward to over the next couple weeks. And yeah, I'm hoping to get some stuff done. So I hope you are enjoying spooky season. I hope you've got I have right over there a cinnamon French toast latte, which is delicious. I hope you are having all your pumpkin spice, Wonder World, witch's brew time of year. I hope it's going wonderful for you. So I will be back in 2 weeks. And I love you. Stay safe, stay sane. Bye.